Chapter 1072. Sora closed the file slowly after he was done speaking. At this point, he was not the only one sweating. Vale, Chansey, Laurent, and the others were trembling all over, their foreheads quickly growing damp. They knew exactly what they had done, and that the consequences would be unthinkable if they were to be exposed. These people had thought that with how powerful they were and Hugh being on their side, nothing could happen to them. That was why they had the courage to do what they had done. Now, however, it seemed like their ship was about to sink, and it was all because of Wesley. Yet despite this, they knew that Wesley was just a trigger. The person who had really opened the gates of hell for them was that man who called himself Wilbur Penn. This man was not only a brilliant fighter who had killed Jamari with just one move, but he had even gotten Mark Forsyth to show up personally to hand the truth straight to Hugh. It was important to note that a confrontation of this scale only happened at the most desperate of times. Hugh and Mark had never had much blood before this at all. It was clear just how powerful Wilbur was for Mark to have to do something so drastic like this. These people had finally realized they had completely underestimated this young man. And yet, they could not contain their resentment and anger. Who knew that this ordinary-looking young man would turn out to be so terribly powerful? It was, unfortunately, all too late now. Everyone stared at Wilbur in terror, knowing they had screwed up royally. Now that Mark was involved, they knew none of them would be able to hide anything anymore. The only thing waiting for them was punishment, and nothing else. It was all over. Donnie stared at Wilbur in a daze, feeling like she was stuck in a dream. She had always identified as a member of the elite and had hardly ever paid little businessmen like Wesley any mind, much less someone like Wilbur, a random guy with no proper background. The sudden turn of events made it hard for Donnie to believe that it was all real. Just then, Mark spoke up coldly. Meyer, the head of the Special Forces team present, jogged over to bow to Mark at once. "Sir, you'll be taking orders from me now." "Yes, sir," Meyer called out loudly. Mark eyed everyone coldly. "All the people in charge of the relevant departments are here. Hugh Cliffson shall be suspended from all duties due to severe professional breach to undergo investigation. Arrest the people in charge of Yoma Corp, Marshall Corp, and Weber Corp, then hand them over to the authorities to be sentenced." "Yes, sir," Meyer said. Waving a hand, his men sprang into action at once, putting Hugh, Vale, and the others in handcuffs. The people from the relevant departments had made their way over to announce their rights and what they were going to do. Donnie trembled all over, collapsing to the floor in a heap. Despite the fact that she was fine for now, she had been responsible for a fair share of crimes in Yoma Corp, which would make her sentence no lighter than that of Vale's. The thought of being thrown into jail at such a young age threw Donnie into complete despair. Just then, Hugh shouted, "You can't do this to me, Mr. Forsyth. Wilbur Penn and his friend killed 2 people. Aren't you going to do something about it?" He was trying to make one last attempt at bringing Wilbur down with him. Donnie jerked at the words, shouting as well, "Yes, that's right. They hurt over 20 people and killed 2. Their corpses are right here. You can't just stand and watch that happen. We might have broken the law, but surely their sentence has to be worse." Donnie felt like she had been terribly wronged, with the way her life was going up in flames just like that. She mustered up all the courage that she had in her and shouted at the top of her lungs, standing with Hugh and trying to bring down Wilbur and Ryder.